ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavata, Canto 10, chapter 39, verse number 19. So in the previous class we read that Nanda Maharaj, when he got the news that Akrura has come to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura and they are all invited to participate in the festival of Kamsa, then he made an announcement throughout Gokula that everybody should get ready. Then this news reached also to the gopis and they were very disturbed by hearing this, that Krishna is going to go to Mathura. And then we read these 5 slokas in which Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he identified different gopis according to their feelings of separation. Bhadra, Shyamala, Chandravali, Srimati Radha and so on. So there it was described that this began thinking of Krishna in separation, and they went into a state of samadhi. Their chitta-vritti was niruddha. So nivritta shesha vritta, because they are absolutely focused on Krishna. And then in the commentary he said that this is just an example. And he said, Nābhyajana nimam lokam atma lokam ivagata, as if they have been transported to Atma Loka or Paramatma experience. So this type of samadhi which is described in the Yoga Sutra, there also they have two types, Nirvikalpaka and Savikalpaka. And this is Savikalpaka also because there is an object of meditation, but there is a big difference between them, because that samadhi which yogis attain, that is still in the Sattva Guna. That is only by the heightened power of Sattva. But this samadhi is by the Antaranga Shakti of Bhagavan, the Radhani potency. And it is for this reason he said that Brahmashvada Premashvadayor Tulyatva Anochityat, that the experience of Brahman and experience in the Prema Samadhi, they cannot be equated. It is improper to think that it is same. So that was just an example for us to understand, otherwise there is a big difference in this. So, Purushottam Prabhu, you have some question?
Yes, Prabhu, it is from the previous chapter, verse number 40, where Balram is stated here is a Param Dharmavit. But we know even in Mahabharata, they explained that he supported Balram, Duryodhan, who was completely adharmic. He also taught him Gada. So how is the address here is a Param Dharmavid?
That is the Param Dharmavid. If he does not teach him how he is going to fight.
But he is teaching to the adharmic people.
Yeah, so that he can collect all the adharmikas and they can all be sent up. He is the leader. So if leader is not enthusiastic, how the war will happen? So Param Dharma, dharmic also does not mean that you hate people. This Duryodhana is also their relative.
Yes.
His daughter is married to Krishna's son.
Yes.
So therefore Krishna gave his whole army to him. So now you will say, why Krishna is doing this? He is giving his own army on the opposite side and he is on this side. Like the whole Narayani Sena was given to them. Just yes.
That is fulfilling his obligation as a relatives, though.
So that is also part of dharma or not?
Okay.
Or dharma is only just one track. When you do Rāsa-līlā, then you do Rāsa-līlā. So he has relatives, he also deals with them. Just like Akrur came, so they were calling him uncle, right? They were massaging his feet, they washed his feet, Krishna and Balram. So that is the Param Dharma.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? So now he is describing in this 12 slokas how the gopis, they felt or they expressed their feelings. How they felt was described in the previous 5 slokas. And here it is described their action, especially their speech, the expression of their feelings. So previous verse described that they all gathered together and came to the door of Nanda Maharaj. And then they are speaking. Shri Gopya Uchuhu Aho Vidhatastav Nakochidaya संयोज्य मैत्रा प्रणयेन देहिनः तांश्च कृतार्थान् विनुङ्क्षे अपार्थकं विक्रीडितं ते भकचेष्टितं यथा. So the gopis said, so they are blaming Vidhata, the providence, which is Brahma. Brahma is supposed to be Vidhata. So he is saying that, oh Vidhata, tavne kochit daya, you don't have any compassion. Why is that? Sanyojya matriya pranayena dehina tanscha akritarthan viyungsha parthakam. That you bring people together in friendship or in love, matriya and pranayena. And then when their wishes are not yet fulfilled, then you separate them. So this is useless. It's like you are hungry, somebody brings a plate of food in front of you, and before you can take the morsel from it, take away the plate. Right? So then, what is the value of that? You are just getting ready, prana swaha, apana swaha. And before you can do swaha in your mouth, the food is gone. So he says this is aparthaka. So aparthaka means it is futile, doesn't have any purpose. Vikriditam tayar bhaka chestitam. So he says that your activities are like children. So they are calling Vidhata, the oldest person, as just a child. Like children do things without thinking much about the result. They can break, then play, run around, fight, then become friends again. So he says this is what you are doing. So there is not much logic in your activities. So this is the nature of human mind, that when we have problem, then find someone else to blame. So that gives little satisfaction. Because when mind is disturbed, you have to give it some solace. So different ways the solace is given. In the modern time, the solace is go and drink, engage in some kind of intoxication. This is the modern solution. In the olden days, they will say, oh, this is fate, this is will, this is karma, like that. So karma also helps you to pacify your mind. So many times things happen to people in India, they just say, well, what can be done? The karma is like this. This has to happen. Yad bhavi na tad bhavi. Yad bhavi chedna anyatha. Iti chinta vishagnamhayam agda kim na piyate. So what has to happen, has to happen. What does not have to happen will never happen. Right? And Krishna says, nasto vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sat. What is real always exists, what is not real will never exist. So similarly, what has to happen will happen. Yad bhavi. So that will happen. And which does not have to happen will never happen. So if you remember this, you will never be in anxiety. This is the formula for peace. People are looking for peace formula, peace organization, world peace. It's a simple formula. So if you can remember this, when something bad happens to us, our mind becomes agitated, we start blaming others. So we can drink this potion which takes away your anxiety. Chintagna. Agad. Agad means medicine. So this is, they are also saying that this is all Vidhata's game. They have nothing to do with it. Akrura has nothing to do with it. Kamsa, they are not blaming Kamsa. Akrura they will say a little bit after some time. But what can Akrura do? He is just a messenger. And what can Kamsa do? He is also working. Right? like that famous sloka, Janami dharmam na me pravritti, Janami adharmam na me nivritti, Kenapi devena hridistitena yatha niyuktasmi tatha karomi. So everybody is moved. Bhagavan has his chakra, right? Sudarshan chakra. So chakra means he keeps everybody on his finger. Everybody is dancing on Krishna's finger. That is the Sudarshan chakra. And it doesn't stop. So that's what they are saying. So Krishnasya sangatau iva vichhedeyapi kamapi anyam hetum analochiyantyo vidhataram eva dushayanti yaho iti. So the gopis are saying that we got united with Krishna, that is our great fortune, and now we are getting separated. Actually they are not saying fortune. He says this is both are arranged by Vidhata, by the providence, by Brahma. Because Brahma is the one who writes your fate. So it is by Brahma that we came together, and now by fate that we are separated. But why he has made a fate like that? As if he could manipulate it. Can Brahma manipulate somebody's fate? No. So, lalat likhitam rekha brahmapi marstum narhati. What is written on your lalat, on your forehead, even Brahma cannot wipe it out. So everybody has to take care of their own karma. So they are blaming Brahma, not seeing any other cause of this whole separation. So he vidhatara aho ascharyam. So they are saying that, oh Vidhata, what a great wonder. Tavapi evam anyaya iti bhave. That even you are being so unjust. If you had the freedom to write somebody's fate, would you write the fate to trouble somebody? No, unless you are a sadist. So Brahma is not that. So he says, what this is a big surprise, that how can you do such injustice to us? Koasau, what is that? Tav kachidapi na daya iti eshaya. He says that you have really no compassion. You are absolutely merciless. So why is that? So he says, Nanu katham evam nischanudhve. So how do you decide this? What makes you think that I don't have any mercy? So tatrahu maitriya sakhyena ya prakrishto naya manaha prana buddhyadinam paraspar prapanam tena dehina sanyojya tanscha kritarthan avapt tad bhogan eva vyunangshi yojasi. So he is taking a little different way of explaining. So he says that by bringing the mind, life, air, intelligence, and then you put life into the human body, and then the human beings meet, people become friendly or they are related to each other. And then when they are not yet satisfied, avapta tattad bhoganeva. So they are not yet satisfied. Then you separate them. Vyunangshi, vyojasi. Evartha chakara nacha tad vyojnat tav kinchit prayojanam asti. And then it is not that you are attaining something. Because sometimes people do harm to others to get some benefit for themselves. But it says that there is nothing like that. You are not getting any benefit by causing this trouble to us. So why do you do that? So then they say that you are just like a child. Apagato artha phalam yata stat. So therefore your activities are without any purpose. At least somebody should benefit. When you do something, then your action should benefit somebody. At least if nobody else, it should benefit you. So who will do an activity which does not benefit others, which does not benefit society, does not benefit environment, and does not benefit you also? So who will do such an activity? So in Nyaya they call it Jalatadanvat. That you take the stick, go to the river and start beating the water. So does it benefit anybody? Maybe it does some exercise for you. But actually there is no other outcome from that. The river, it doesn't matter to the river, it doesn't matter to the air. Or start hitting in the air. So he says that is called Arbhaka Cheshtitam. Children can do such activities because they don't have much viveka, don't have much buddhi to think what is good, what is not good. So atastav cheshtitam arbhak cheshtitam yatha iti tomiti balisha eva. Therefore you are only a balisha. So balisha means that you are not very intelligent. Balisha means childish. Means it does not make any sense to act in this manner. So that's what you are. Which ultimately means, in other way, what they are saying is that you are very foolish. That's how the word balish is used. Like in English you have a child and then you have childish. So childish generally means that which is done by a child, right? But it implies some act of foolishness, that you are being very childish. So that's the meaning, that you are being balish. Yastvam pradarshasita kuntalavritam mukunda vaktram sukapola munnasam shokapanoda smitalesha sundaram karosi parokshama sadhute kritam. So they are continuing. Basically they are lamenting and they continue to speak on that. So he says, this is what you have done, that you have shown us the face of Mukunda. So Mukunda Vaktram Pradarsha. How is that his face? Asita Kuntalavritam. That it is covered by curly blackish hair, which appears so beautiful. And Sukapola Munnasam. So this hair, curly hair are on his beautiful cheeks, Sukapola, and there is raised nose. And Shokapanoda Smita Lesha Sundaram. So just little smile from Krishna's face takes away all the grief. It's so beautiful. So you show this to us, and then Parokshama Sadhute Kritam, and then you take him away from us. So this is your asadhu act. This is your action which is not very good. So if you do good to some people and then you do something wrong, what sticks is what you have done wrong, and all the good is forgotten. Right? That's why in bhakti, you do lot of bhakti and you commit one aparadh, then you are finished. All your bhakti takes the back seat. Aparadh comes in the front. And just like you are serving somebody, you do very nice service. At the end of the day, you speak some abusive word to that person. So then whole day whatever you did get nullified. So that's why it's important to be very careful. So similarly, if Brahma has given them the opportunity to see Krishna's beautiful face, they are not saying anything about that. They are not saying, thank you Brahmaji, you are so gracious. They are saying, you have no daya. So you gave us the opportunity to see the most beautiful, most wonderful person, and then now you are taking him away. So what is Brahma or what is Vidhata doing here? So at least they are not blaming anybody else, and Vidhata does not care. He can speak. Doesn't matter to him. So Sarva Pitamahasya Mama Narbhaka Tulyatvam iti chet. So Brahma says, Gopis, think twice before you speak. I am the grandfather of everybody. Right? Brahma is called Pitamaha. Not only Pita but Pitamaha, because he is the father of Daksha, he is father of Kashyapa. Not Kashyapa, but Kashyapa's grandfather. So all the Prajapatis, they come from him, and the Praja is coming from the Prajapatis. So he is at least grandfather, if not great-grandfather and beyond that. So he says, I am everybody's Pitamaha. As Krishna says, Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Krishna also says that he is Pitamaha. Looks like they like to be called as Pitamaha. So how is that you are calling me an Arbhaka? Like a child. Do you have any sense? Or are you making some mistake in choosing words? So then they speak that this is why we call you a child. Tvam lokanam abhadrakari. It says because you bring inauspiciousness to people. That's why. Yo vidhata api bhutva tvam mukunda vaktram shokasya apnodo yasmat tena smitalesena sundaram pradarshya tasya paroksham adrishyatvam karosi. That although you are vidhata, but then you behave like this. So you show us the face of Krishna, Mukunda, which removes shokasya apnodo yasmat tena, which takes away all grief. Anyone who sees Krishna's face becomes blissful, because he is so blissful and happy. And smitaleshena, and then he, on top of his face, he has this smile. Sundaram pradarshya. So you gave us the opportunity to see him, and then you make him invisible. Adrishyatvam karosi. Tav kritam karma asadhu abhadram nindyam ityartha. So therefore your action, your deed is abhadram. It's not very good. It is asadhu. So first asadhu, then asadhu is translated as abhadram, which is alright, not so bad. Then he translated as nindyam. So gradually, step by step. He's not saying asadhu means nindyam immediately. So make, right? This is how the commentators do. Then they want to give a meaning which is quite far removed from the original word, then they put steps. This is their technique. So it looks like that it's not too much far away. So first they give a meaning which is little off, then little more, then little more. So therefore a sadhu means despicable. And that's what you are. Not very good. So now they are blaming him and not Akrura. It says, Kruras tvamakrura samakhayasmana chakshurhi dattam harase vatagyavat yenekadesho khil sarga sausthavam tvadiya madrakshama vayam madhudvishaha. So he says that you have come as Akrura. So it is Vidhata, it is Brahma who has come as Akrura. So then Brahma says that my name is Akrura, why are you calling me that I am cruel? Because Akrura means not cruel. Cruel comes from Krura only. Daliyor aliyor akyam. Change Ra into La, it becomes cruel. So he says that you are calling yourself Akrura, which means you are not Krura, or little Krura, right? There are 6 meanings of Naya, one of them is little, similar, Sadrishya. So you are Akrura means you are cruel, but not directly. So krurastvam akrura samakhayasma. So you are actually very cruel, but you call yourself as Akrura. So this is how people have their names, right? Many people have their name and their behavior is just opposite of that. So he is like that. So chakshurhi dattam harshe bada. So first you give us the eyes. So give us the eye means that with the eyes we can see the beauty of Krishna. Ekadesha ekhil sarga sausthavam. So we saw your art in creation in one place. Because he is a creator and his beauty of his creation can be seen in one place. That is Krishna. So Vidhata has created Krishna. So every part of his body is beautiful. It's Nisarga Sundaram. Naturally beautiful. Right? Bhushana Bhushanangam. His angas are the ornament for the ornaments. Ornaments appear ornamented when they are put on his limbs. So that's how beautiful he is. So that is your greatness. So this is what say Ekadesha Akhila Sarga Sausthavam. Or in each part of Krishna's body you can see Vidhata's, Brahma's art of creation. How expertly he has made each part. And in this way we relished seeing the beauty. But now what are you doing? That you are taking away Chakshur Dattam Harase Batagyavat. That the eyes which you gave, with the eyes from which we saw Krishna's beauty, so now you are taking that away. And you are taking it away like a foolish person. Because if you create some beautiful thing, you make some nice painting, right? Then painters usually have exhibition of their paintings, right? So do they invite there all the blind people? Only blind people are allowed. Those who have eyes cannot come to this exhibition. So that will be foolishness. So it says that you have made Krishna so beautiful and we have the eyes and now you are taking him away. So what is the use of making him so beautiful then? Beauty should also be shown to those who can appreciate beauty. You make very nice painting and then you take to people who have no knowledge of painting. So they will not understand what is it. Once there was an exhibition of modern painting, right? Modern painting, you know, right? So it was not just modern painting, but it was exhibition of all types of arts. But one section was modern painting. So you have seen modern painting, all lines, this or that. So there were two kids. They were also going around and seeing very nice painting. When they came there, they saw all these lines. So one of them was telling the other, let's run away from here before they catch us. Says, we may be blamed that we did this. So he says that you are taking away the eyes by which the beauty can be appreciated. This is your ignorance, agyavat. Tvadiya madrakshama vayam madhudesha. So Krishna, who is called here as Madhusudana, so we saw him, and now you are taking away that opportunity. Nanu akruraha krishnam purim nayati nahamiti chet tatrahu. So Brahma says that it is Akrura who is taking Krishna to Mathura. So why are you blaming me? What is that I have to do with it? So krurastvam viprita lakshanaya akrurasya samakhya namna. So he says this Akrura is no one else but you. You have just changed the name and form. You have changed yourself. So you are actually Krura, very cruel person. But you took this form of Akrura and changed the name and changed the form, and now you have come here. Once one man was walking in the mall, and another man is calling him from the back, hey Joseph, hey Joseph. So that man did not listen. So he again went and he says, oh Joseph. Says, so he came here and he says, what? He says, oh my God, you have changed so much. He says, what? He says, you used to have such nice hair and now I see you're bald. He did not give the chance to the other person to speak, to say that I'm not Joseph anymore. So he kept on saying, he said, you have changed so much, you were strong built, now you look thin, you know. And you have changed so much, he kept on saying, you have changed so much. So finally that man says, what are you talking, I'm not Joseph. He says, you have changed so much, you changed even your name. So this is what Brahma has done. He changed everything. He changed his looks, he changed his character, appearance and name. So that's exactly what they are saying. He says, Krurastvam viprita lakshanaya akruras samakhya nam. That you are actually that same cruel Brahma, but now you changed, you dropped your foreheads, your big beard, everything, and you change your name also. Now you are calling yourself as Akrura. So nahi evam kartu manyah shaknoti iti bhava. He says no one else can do this otherwise. No one else can do it. It is you only who have done it. So tatha dattapaharittvena api kruro asi. So why is he called cruel? So he says you are cruel because if you give charity to somebody, then you take it back. So that is called a big sin, dattapahari, those. Like story of King Nirga. That's why he has to become a lizard. So by mistake, he donated the same cow twice. He gave it to one Brahmana, then cow ran back and got mixed in his herd, and obviously it is not that king is keeping track of the cows. Whatever cow is brought, he donates. So every day he was donating. But it is the same cow which previous day he gave to another Brahmana. So then he got into trouble, and because of this, he became a lizard. So they are saying that this Brahma is also same. He is a Dattapahari. That he gave us Krishna, now he is taking away. So if he gave us, he gave us. How can he take it away then? If we want to give up, that is our choice. But you have no right. Once you give something in charity, charity means that you relinquish your ownership over an object which belongs to you, and you establish someone else's ownership over it. That's what is called charity. So they're saying that you gave us Krishna, now you're taking away. That's why you are Krura. Tvaya eva dattam chakshus tvameva harase. Here they're only talking about the eyes, that you gave us the eyes. Eyes here means basically Krishna, because eye have no meaning. The purpose of eye is to see Krishna, right? As it is described in Ambrish Maharaj, right? So that he engaged his speech in describing Krishna's. So, Vachastad Gunanuvanane, and then feet to go to his temple, hands to clean, eyes to see the Vigraha. So, therefore the purpose of eye is to see Krishna's form. And if you take away Krishna's form, it's as good as taking our eyes, because eyes are not meant for anything else. In other words, what gopis are saying is that with these eyes we don't want to see anything else. We only want to see, because that is the only purpose of this. If we see something else, that is a misuse. If you work in a company and they give you a computer, then that computer is meant to work for that company, not that you use it for something else. That's not proper. There is a story like this about Chanakya Pandit. Chanakya was the guru of Chandragupta Maurya, but he never lived in the kingdom. He had his small hut. Even when Chandragupta Maurya was ruling practically all over the continent, subcontinent of India, he lived very humbly, like a humble, renounced Brahmana. So one Chinese person came to see him. He had heard about him. So he asked. So they said, oh, he lives there. So he went. At that time, Chanakya was drawing water he was bringing water from a river. He asked him only that, do you know who is Chanakya Pandit? Because he never thought that this could be Chanakya. Because he heard he is guru of the king. So from his own country, he knew that if somebody is guru of the king, how he lives. So he asked him, do you know Chanakya Pandit? And he said, yes. He says, can you guide me? He says, follow me. So he brought him, and then he went into his hut. So the guy waited outside, thought that he will put the pot and come out and then take me there. So from inside he says, come inside. So he sat down, and then he says, you please wait, I will just take few minutes. I have little work to do, then I will talk to you with relaxed mind. So it was already evening time. He lit the lamp and he did some work. And then he put off that lamp and he lit another lamp, and then he said, okay, now we can talk. So he said, I am curious to ask you that, why did you put this lamp off and then you started this? So he says, this lamp I use only for the king's work, because I use his oil in this. And the other one is mine. So now because I am talking, this is not an official work. So I am using my lamp. So this is called using for what it is meant. He was so truthful. This is how Brahmins were. They are so dharmic in their character. So like that, gopis are also like that. They are so devoted to Krishna because this body we have attained by Krishna's grace. Durlabha manusa janma. So it is said in Shastra that we get human form, although we get it by our karma, but we could have still got another 2000 births before we get human body. There is so much stockpile of karma lying around, and you can become a tree for a few hundred years, no problem. So by Krishna's grace, anybody who gets human body, that is a special grace, and especially if you are born here in India. So Mukunda Seva Upikam Hisprihana Aho Hakari Matkim Shobhana Yadesham Prasanna Yesham Sudaswayam Eva Hari. That Hari himself has become pleased with these people, that Yer Janma Labdham Bharata Ajire Mukunda Seva Upaikam Hina. So even the devas, they feel jealous that these people, what has that they have done that to take birth here? Because here you can do Mukunda Seva, which they desire but they cannot do. So the meaning here is why it is said in this sloka that Chakshum Haraseyo. He is not taking away the eyes, he is taking away the Vishaya of the eyes, which is as good as taking away. So senses have their function only if the sense object is there. If the sense object is not there, then sense is not a sense, it's just another part of the body. Our senses are made from the same material by which the body is made, but yet they have some special Shakti, power, that they are able to sense some specific characteristics. But if that Vishaya is not there, then it is not there. If we don't have anything to see, we will not know that we have the eyes. If there is no sound to hear, we will not know that we have ears. If there is nothing to smell, we will not know that we have the ability to smell. We may be breathing, but we will not know that we actually have the sense of smell. The sense of smell is known only because there is an object of smell. So similarly, the eyes are eyes only if there is something to see. And gopis, they want to use their senses only for Krishna and not for anything else. That is what gopi means. Their life is only for him. Bhavad Ayusham. So our life is Krishna. So life means body, mind, senses, everything. That's what life consists of. So that is the significance, that Tvayeva dattam chakshus tvameva harse, that you have given the chakshu and now you are taking it away. Yatha agya punya papaya janam dattam api harati tadvat. He said, just like an ignorant person who does not know punya papa, that what is the act of piety and what is the act of sin. So he gives and then he takes it away. So that is not a great thing. So Krishnam harami nayusmat chakshuriti chet. So Brahma says that I am taking away Krishna, not your eyes. I hope you are not confused. You are bewildered that you are making such statement. You should know the difference between Krishna and the eyes. One is you and he is different from you. So he raises this point. So he says, Krishna haranam haranadeva asmakam andhyat chakshur haranam ityaha. So this is exactly what they are saying. He says, taking away Krishna is like making us blind. So this is quite a statement. Yena chakshusha madhudvishaha krishnasya ek dese vaktra netradau tvadiyam akhila shrishtahe swashthavam adrakshana tena kim anyat pashyama. He says, the eye by which we saw your beauty of creation, of the whole creation, in one part of Krishna's body. Means whatever is the beauty in this universe, we could see that beauty in just one limb of Krishna. And that is the greatness of the eyes. But now if we cannot see that, then what are we going to see? After seeing Krishna's beauty, what else is there to be seen? How can we even appreciate anything after that? So therefore he says that taking Krishna away is like asmakam andhya. That will be our blindness. So that's the reason they call it chakshuharnam, taking away the eyes. Ato andha eva bhavishyama. So therefore we are just going to become blind if you take him away. Nananda sunu chanabhang saurida samikshate na svakrita turavat vihaya gehan svajanan sutan patim staddasyama dhopagata navapriyaha. Now they are shifting towards Krishna. Enough of bashing Vidhata. They say Nananda Sunu Chanam Chanabhanga Sauhrida Samikshate Na Svakrita Turavat. He says that look at this Krishna also. That he is not even looking at us. So his friendship is such that he breaks it in a moment. Means he is very selfish. Why is he going? He can also refuse. Does he not know what will happen to us? So now, but we are completely under his control. Svakrita atura, we are absolutely, atura means like sick without him. It's like you have some sickness and then you take medicine. So without him we are like sick people, we are like disturbed. Svakrita atura. And now he does not even look. Samikshate na. Nandasunu na samikshate. Why is that? Kshanabhanga shohida. He has broken his soharda, his friendship with us in a moment. What a wonder is that. And we vihaya gehan swajanan sutan patin staddasyam adha upagata. We have instantly given up everything for his sake, our friends, our family members, children, husbands, and come to him, and we are his servant. But he is giving up. Why is that? He says Navapriya. He is Navapriya. So Navapriya, so you know that in Nyaya, Nav Kambalvaniyam. So this guy has a new blanket. So the other person is saying, oh, he does not have 9 blankets. So Navapriya does not mean that he likes 9, but He likes newer and newer girls. So now he has enjoyed with us. Now he will go to Mathura and he will find new friends there. This is what he is doing. So this, out of love, they are taunting him. Only gopis can do that. Hanta hanta asmat pate asmat premaspadatvad asmat jivan ek hetu Krishna eva asman upekshate vidhataram kim doshyame. So he says, what is the point in blaming Brahma? Poor guy, we unnecessarily blame him. It is Krishna himself who is being indifferent to us, although he is the object of our love and cause of our very life. But now he is dropping us. So it is with this intention that they speak this verse. Ati prabalaha prema katham anena chinna ityatahu. So if someone says that how can his love, which is so intense, he can break it so easily. Kshanmatra naiva bhango yasya tatha bhuta swahridam yasya sa swahridam naiva vanya kartum saknoti. He says because his name is called Kshanbhanga Swahida. He can do that. He has this ability. No one else can do that. Can anyone do that? That you have very deep friendship with somebody and in a second you can snap it? So that only he can do that. That's why he is called Bhagavan. Ashwarasya samagrasya viryasya yashasya. Right? Gyan vairagyasya sannam bhagaitin. So he has also this vairagya that in a moment he drops. No one else can do this. When Sati gave up her body, then Shiva took the body and he was going around dancing all over the universe in separation. When Sukdev was born, then Vyasa was running, Putreti Tanmeta Tarvo Bhinedu. So, this Sambandha, Sambandhanubandho, Bandhunam, Munerapi Sudastyaja. It is very difficult even for the great sages to give this up. What Krishna is doing here, that's why they gave him a name, Chanabhanga Swahrida. If they tell this to Krishna, I think he will faint. Even he won't be able to tolerate this word for himself. This will be like an arrow in his heart to call him that. So, hanta hanta swasya krite atura pranantim dasapanna api asman na sammag ikshate api. He says, alas, alas, that we are so eager for him that without him we are reaching the state of death. But he is not even looking at us. Eta ruditva mriyantam naam ham tu mathram gatva sukham labhe. So, there is, as if Krishna is saying that let these gopis die after crying. These gopis are thinking like this. I mean, how can Krishna think in this way? But this is how gopis speak. Eta ruditva mriyantam now. Aham tu matharam gatva. I will go to Mathura and I'll feel happy there. So this is a very heartbreaking statement. If Krishna sees, I think he will drop going to Mathura. If he heard this. Ityasya nishchaya iti bhava. But gopis are making such feeling because they are so full of distress that how he can think like this. Vayam tu vihaya ityadi yad dasya artham patyadinam api atyajam swasman tyajita. He says we have given up family, friends, everything just to become servant of Krishna, and now he is dropping us and going. Tatra hetu nava eva priya yasya. And the reason for that is that he is going to have new friends. Vayam adhuna puratanyo abhume yatas tasmaditi bhave. Now we have become old, means, anything new is for a few days, then it becomes old. So our friendship has become old. It's not that gopis are old, but they are thinking like that. Tasmad vayam anena ubhaya lokta eva bhranshita iti dhvani. So therefore he says that because of Krishna, we are lost from both sides. He is leaving us and we are lost also from our family. So what will happen to us? So this is how they are lamenting out of love for Krishna. So I'll stop here. Any question?
Could you help me understand what it is that people like I am feeling when we hear these types of descriptions? I learned that in order to have to feel for someone, to have empathy, I have had similar experiences also, right? And this samskara then comes prominent in the mind. But now in my case, I don't have a spiritual sthāyi bhava which can be excited, and I don't feel any spiritual rasa. So therefore it seems that this is just a material samskara that I have, that I'm now experiencing. So I have experienced some loss to my body, basically, right? And this is now activated in the mind. Or is it in contrast that it is spiritual? It is to some degree a spiritual emotion because it has some connection with Krishna here and with spiritual topics.
Yeah, so we have material samskaras, but they get purified by thinking about Krishna. We don't have bhava like gopis, but even our material samskaras can be used. It's like we have material tongue, material body, but we can use it in Krishna's service. So it becomes purified, it becomes spiritualized. So that is the purpose for us, and those who already have it, for them they will relish it because they have the bhava. It's like you eat food, so it is material. It's like anyone else is eating, but because we offer it to Krishna, it becomes spiritualized, and by taking that, our existence becomes purified. So same way it works here.
I mean, there's clearly some spiritual component here because the cause why am I listening is that I have some desire for listening, right? And this is something spiritual already, isn't it?
Yeah, that is spiritual, and also by hearing it and then trying to feel, as you said, empathy, trying to even understand what they must have felt. If we have material experiences of material relations and material separation, then with that we can extrapolate and feel how they feel. And that's what will uplift our consciousness and purify our feelings.
And purify our feelings means that
so those feelings which you have experienced materially, now you will not have them for material people. That's the meaning. It's like by eating prasad, then you don't want to eat which is not prasad. You don't have the desire. You don't become attracted. People are used to eating good food. But when you develop taste for eating only Mahaprasad, then even if it is good food, he says, no, I don't want it.
So would it mean that even some experience is maybe interesting, I would
It is
think that
important
it's not
to also have some material experience, because if you don't have any experience, you won't understand anything from this. That's why it is also very important to have experience of material relations. If we have not had that, you can't understand it. This is the idea. That's why there is Sahitya, which is material, and then this is Rasa-astra related to Bhakti Ras. But if one doesn't have any idea about that, then this Bhakti Ras also doesn't make sense. Okay, Raghava.
Obeisances, Pandit. But if the purpose of the eyesight is to see Krishna, why there have to be so many other tempting things to be seen here in this world? Why there have to be there all this?
Because you don't want to see Krishna, then the other things are created for you.
So because of our desires.
Because of your desire to enjoy things separate from Krishna.
So to poke the eyes out is not the solution, actually, because the eye is not just the instrument, but the eye is inside, actually, the inner eye, right?
No, if you poke the eyes, then you are a bigger problem. Then you are 24 hours dreaming about it.
And don't become spiritual by doing so. So this it seems very, very difficult, the solution.
Yeah.
With this eyesight thing.
Yes. So you have
Thank you, Pandit.
you have to stop seeing other things.
Wow.
Okay, Sandeep ji.
Pranam Babaji Maharaj. So my question was that when these gopis are saying that Krishna will find a new lover, so it's in the sense of taunting, like giving a taunt. And so Krishna, like, why is said that he'll feel so bad about it, or otherwise he could also give back a taunt or something. Okay, I'll find then, like that.
The thing is that
just
you can talk like this if you don't have experience of love. You have to understand what love means and what is Krishna's heart. You think that Krishna is just a very harsh person, he doesn't care. No. He is also equally in love with gopis as much as gopis love him. So how can he be so cruel towards gopis and say, oh, I will also taunt them? If he may taunt for having fun with them and giving them pleasure, but not just taunt and go away like that. So he will also try to give solace to them. Okay, Mohini.
Pranam Maharaj. I also had a question regarding this taunting, and if you can help me to understand. I remembered then when Mother Yashoda says to Krishna, when she knows that his past life was Narasingha, and then when Krishna can't step over the doorstep, and then she tells to Krishna, oh yes, you have been Narasingha in your past life. Is that also a form of taunting?
No, that is not taunting.
What is that called then?
So just telling him.
Okay.
Okay.